Good YouTube, it's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, former unified welterweight world champion superstar boxer Keith one-time Thurman will be making his ring return February 5th, Las Vegas, Nevada, Mandalay Bay Arena. With that said, Keith Thurman, 29 wins, 1 loss, no draws, 22 big wins by way of knockout, 33 years of age, 5'7" with a 69-inch arm reach. Keith Thurman has been out the ring for almost 2.5 years since he last fought, when he lost to legendary 8 Division world champion, iconic Filipino superstar boxer Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao, July of 2019. We are going into February of 2022, and this is the last time we saw Keith Thurman fight. With that said, Keith Thurman, he'll be going into a fight against former WBA regular champion at the junior welterweight division, Mexican star boxer Mario Barrios. Okay, Mario Barrios himself is coming off of a knockout loss to undefeated 3-division world champion superstar boxer Gervonta Tank Davis, who was making his debut. Okay, he was making his debut at the junior welterweight division. And Gervonta Tank Davis is not the biggest guy in the world, 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. He's 27 years of age. Okay, and Gervonta Tank Davis, he knocked out Mario Barrios. So Mario Barrios is now 26 wins, 1 loss, no draws, 17 wins by way of knockout, 5'10" with a 71-inch arm reach. He's 26 years of age. With that said, he's 7 years younger than Keith Thurman. Okay, he's 3 inches taller, and he has a 2-inch arm reach advantage over Keith Thurman. Okay, and this is scheduled to take place February 5th, like I said, Las Vegas, Nevada, at the Mandalay Bay Arena. So Keith Thurman and Mario Barrios is going to be a pay-per-view fight, and many fans are in the uproar because this fight is going to be on pay-per-view. So fans, they took to social media and they started to berate, PBC, Premier Boxing Champions, Keith Thurman, so on and so forth. And everybody was saying Keith Thurman went into a unification bout March of 2017 against 2-division world champion Puerto Rican superstar boxer Danny Swift Garcia. Unification bout. Keith Thurman's WBA title was on the line, and Danny Garcia's WBC title was on the line. Okay, Danny Garcia was undefeated, 33 wins with no losses and no draws, 19 wins by way of knockout, 5'8" with a 68-inch arm reach. It was a highly anticipated showdown, and it was on free TV. Okay, it was not on pay-per-view. And so fans are saying now Keith Thurman hasn't fought in 2.5 years. Okay, he's facing off against a guy in Mario Barrios, who is not a well-known fighter, who's is not a pay-per-view star. He's not a superstar. He's a star in the sport of boxing, but he's not a superstar. Okay, he's more known for his fight with Gervonta Tank Davis and losing to Gervonta Tank Davis. So with that said, fans are not happy that Keith Thurman's fight with Mario Barrios, and Mario Barrios' first fight at welterweight, coming off of a knockout loss, and Keith Thurman hadn't been in the ring in 2.5 years, and he's coming off of a loss, that it shouldn't be on pay-per-view for $74.99. Okay, so it's $75 for a pay-per-view. So Keith Thurman, he responds now. He does an interview in which Keith Thurman, he responds to everybody critiquing the fact that this fight is not pay-per-view worthy, when you had a fight against Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman, and that wasn't on pay-per-view. So fans are not happy. If Keith Thurman versus Danny Garcia unification bout wasn't on pay-per-view, why is Keith Thurman coming off a loss in a 2-year hiatus, and Mario Barrios coming off of a loss and almost a year hiatus since the last time he fought? Why is Keith Thurman and Mario Barrios on pay-per-view? So Keith Thurman, he responds, and essentially he just tells the fans to be quiet. And Keith Thurman, he states that you go and you pay $75 for water. You go and you pay $75 for groceries. He says, and you don't complain about it because the cost of living has changed. Well, Keith Thurman, that just doesn't make sense. Okay, regardless if the cost of living hasn't changed, everybody has to eat. Okay, everybody has to drink water. Nobody has to watch boxing. It's entertainment. So to compare your what you need to survive to boxing is completely out of bounds. Okay, and to tell the fans that they should pay for this when you don't have to pay for any fights. All fights could be on free TV. Many Muhammad Ali fights wasn't on pay-per-view. Okay, so with that said, you can fight on free TV. And so what the fans are saying is that you fought a high-profile fight in a unification bout with 2 undefeated fighters and 2 world champions, and it wasn't on pay-per-view. And yet you got 2 guys coming off of losses and layoffs, and this is on pay-per-view. You cannot compare the two. Well, then Keith Thurman, he doesn't stop there. Keith Thurman goes on to tell the fans how they paid for a terrible card with undefeated 3-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, currently the WBO welterweight world champion, who is the widely considered by many to be the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, in Terrence Crawford, as he took on 2-time welterweight world champion superstar boxer Showtime Shawn Porter. Well, Terrence Crawford has never lost, and Shawn Porter was coming off of a win. So now Shawn Porter wasn't a champion, but he was coming off of a win, and Terrence Crawford is undefeated and considered the best fighter in the world. And that's why it's on pay-per-view. So Keith Thurman goes on to say it's not the Shawn Porter versus Terrence Crawford, but it's the undercard. It's not just Mario Barrios and Keith Thurman. He points to the undercard. It's a massive undercard. Well, here's where the problem lies. Yes, you have 4-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer Leo Santa Cruz on the undercard. But again, Leo Santa Cruz is coming off of a loss. Okay? Leo Santa Cruz is a guy who's definitely a superstar in the sport of boxing. Leo Santa Cruz is definitely a headliner. But again, Leo Santa Cruz ain't fight in almost 2 years. And over in 2 years, and Leo Santa Cruz is coming off of a brutal knockout loss. Okay? So he's the third, he is the second biggest name on the card behind Keith Thurman. Okay? And yes, you do have Luis Neri versus Carlos Castro. That's a good fight. Abel Ramos versus Josito Lopez. That's a good fight. And Leo Santa Cruz versus Keenan Carbajal. Yes, those are good fights. But again, the biggest name on this card are all coming off of losses. I'm going to say this again. The biggest names on this card are all coming off of losses. Yes, it's an action-packed card, okay? But again, I'm going to say this again. Leo Santa Cruz is coming off a brutal knockout loss, okay? Mario Barrios is coming off of a brutal knockout loss. Both to Gervonta Tank Davis, a guy who was a 135-pound, 130-pounder, okay? And Keith Thurman is coming off of a loss to Manny Pacquiao and an extensive layoff, okay? And then the other guy, the other biggest name on here is Luis Neri. And again, he's coming off of a loss to Brandon Figueroa. And he hasn't been in the ring since May of 2021. So, again, these guys have long layoffs, and they're all coming off of losses. The biggest names on the card, again, are coming off of losses. And we have to pay to see these guys fight. So, that's where Keith Thurman has it completely incorrect. Terrence Crawford has never lost. He's considered the best fighter in the world. Shawn Porter is coming off of a win. Keith Thurman, Mario Barrios, Leo Santa Cruz, and Luis Neri are all coming off of losses and extensive layoffs. Leo Santa Cruz ain't fight since 2020. Luis Neri ain't fighting a year. Keith Thurman ain't fighting 2.5 years. And you're trying to compare that to Terrence Crawford and Shawn Porter, and you're trying to compare that to people buying water and groceries, things you need to survive in life. That is completely out of bounds on the part of Keith Thurman, and Keith Thurman is too intelligent to say such things. I understand he wants the fans to support. And I understand he wants the fans to buy this pay-per-view. But Keith Thurman is completely out of bounds with these comments. And trying to convince the fans that it's equivalent to buying water or equivalent to buying groceries is absurd. And all you guys are coming off losses. It's another thing to pay for what is considered the best fighter in the world in Terrence Crawford. It's completely two different things. I'm lost to where Keith Thurman is coming up with these narratives. Okay? Abel Ramos. Let's just look at Abel Ramos, shall we? Now, he rectified his fight, but he beat Omar Figueroa by stoppage. But prior to that, he lost to Yordenis Ugas. And again, he fought in May of 2021. So these are the biggest names that are on the card. And Keith Thurman is trying to sell the card as a massive card, and that's why you're paying for it. Yes, it's action-packed fights on the card, competitive fights. But let's look at the status of these fighters before Keith Thurman points to say why it should be paid for. Amazing. But that's all I got for y'all. I'm going to personally pay for it because I'm in love with the sport of boxing. But to say that it's equivalent to buying water or groceries, that you need, things you need, water and food to survive, or you comparing it to Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter saying that that was a horrible card. Could have been a horrible card. But guess what? The main event was the biggest fight, one of the most highly anticipated fights of the year. Nobody's anticipating Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios. That's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to the new media. Shouts out to Black Media Road. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Hi, my name is Heather Vahid Hardy, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.